Hello, and welcome to the Best Versus movie. Over the years, people have often wondered who would win in a fight between so-and-so and such, as you can probably tell already by looking at our channel, among others. But sometimes, they go so far as to make an official movie of this sort of thing.
Usually, they're actually kind of garbage, because making crossover fighting movies is difficult. However, with this series, we're gonna try and find the diamond in the rough of fighting movies.
But before we begin this long journey, we need to set up a few rules regarding what we consider a versus movie. The characters must be pre-existing, and from different franchises. The characters in question must have some form of conflict, preferably a fight, but we will let other forms such as chase scenes slide.
And the title's gotta be versus, not X, slash, or meets. Anyways, since not all of these are good, we'll also be ranking them based on entertainment value, satisfying fights, and if there's an actual winner.
Because fights without winners are cop-outs! Oh yeah, and this is a collaborative effort with Ribbit Theater.
Hello everybody, pleasure to be here, and I look forward to looking into some of these masterpieces.
Poor naive Ribbit. Hello everybody, welcome to the Best Versus movie, and today we are talking about a actually good movie. But according to our sources, it's good, and it will prove to be a fun time for all. Now, Ducko, tell us your history with Batman and Ninja Turtles.
I've been into Batman and Ninja Turtles since I was like a little young kid. Batman first through like the animated series, and then like on tape I saw the Ninja Turtles movie and a few of the animated shows, and then later I heard more stuff, and I have some of the toys of both and all that stuff, all that fun stuff. I must admit that I've seen this one recently, but I won't spoil it for any of you guys.
Okay.
And I found it to be a good synthesis of both characters' worlds and overall histories. I'll see if I feel the same way since after I watch it again. But I expect it to basically rank the highest for me and probably you and probably both you guys, yeah.
Alright, I'm personally a big fan of both Batman and Ninja Turtles, like pretty much everyone here. I like, my favorite versions of Batman are the animated series and the Michael Keaton movie with Jack Nicholson. Those are my favorite incarnations of Batman, but I've also played the Telltale game. That was pretty good. I usually like a lot of Batman stuff, and some of the comics I've actually read, like The Killing Joke, and that's a really interesting story that I like. I think, though, I like the Ninja Turtles a lot more, not a lot more, but, like, just generally more than Batman. I find it more entertaining than Ninja Turtles, and I think that's mostly because, for me, I've seen most of the original cartoon. That's where I get most of my Ninja Turtle stuff, but when I was younger, I was into, like, that one. There's a 2007 film that I watched a bunch, and it had a video game spin-off. I played that a bunch, and it had this really fucking goofy song with Michelangelo. There's a stage where you're gonna wear a giant-ass turtle mask on your head, and you look like a fucking idiot.
Oh yeah,
it's fun.
I think I played
I know the exact game you're talking about.
I played the Game Boy Advance game of that. That was a pretty fun one that followed up on the Konami beat-em-ups.
I've also seen the first two live-action Ninja Turtles films. I really love those movies.
You never saw 3? Oh, you never saw the best one.
Didn't see 3.
I've seen all 3 of those at some point, and I don't remember what I thought of 3 as a kid.
From what I hear, I'm not missing much while not watching Ninja Turtles 3. And I've also seen the 2012 Turtles. So,
yeah, I
really like the Ninja Turtles. I'm a big fan, and I've been around them a lot. What about you, Ribbit?
Batman and the Ninja Turtles are the series here that I've probably known for the longest, like out of all the movies. And you know, I don't like Batman as much as I used to for some reasons. And
Batman is your childhood, but Joker is you when you realize.
No.
You idolize Batman.
Childhood is when you idolize Batman, and adulthood is when you realize the Joker makes more sense.
Oh no.
The piece of Batman media I still love to this day are the animated series and the original Batman movie, like Max. I also like Batman Returns, although that is marginally because of Danny DeVito, who is just like always a win for me. But I also love the 60s Batman, and I have major nostalgia for Lego Batman, the first one. The Ninja Turtles, however, are my second favorite fictional franchise, period. So they mean a lot to me. I love the 1990 movie. I saw Ninja Turtles 2 and 3, the 2007 animated movie, and both of the Michael Bay ones, which means I've seen every Ninja Turtles movie except this one. So this will be a good way to complete my viewings. I grew up with the 2003 Ninja Turtles show because it came out the year I was born. But I also loved the old 90s show, and I also liked the Next Mutation when I was young because I was a disgusting degenerate.
The Next Mutation wasn't bad.
And
it was fine.
And 2012 was a very good show as well. I'm not too sure about Rise of. I only watched the first episode, which was good, but I hear they start dabbing later on, and I just can't condone that.
Okay, so I just forgot that I forgot that the Next Mutation was the one with the fifth Ninja Turtle.
Yeah.
I was thinking of Ninja Turtles, the second movie. I don't know.
Oh.
The Mutant.
Oh, no.
I got confused with the Mutant.
Secret of the Ooze.
Nah, that's Secret of the Ooze.
I
love Secret.
I take it back. I hate the fifth Ninja Turtle.
Yeah, I love Secret of the Ooze. You know, Kevin Eastman, one of the creators of the Ninja Turtles, apparently can joke about Venus being crap around him because he doesn't like her. He doesn't like her.
Oh,
what's your favorite Ninja Turtle?
Ooh.
Donatello.
I like Donatello. Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
Donatello's my favorite.
It always changes between Donnie and Raph for me, depending on the version.
Well, which Raph do you like more? The cartoon one or the one that's angry a lot?
I like snarky Raph.
Yeah, same.
But the Rob Paulson Raph.
Yeah, but my favorite version of Raphael is the 2003 one. But I like Donatello in the movie because he's like a stoner for some reason. I find that funny.
I think they made everyone a stoner.
He's like, gosh, it's kind of like mood lighting, isn't it?
I like that first movie. I like both those movies.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Yeah.
Another note.
I don't want to.
Sorry.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
This keeps happening. Another note I have is, for some reason, there are two movies I own multiple DVD copies of somehow. One of them is 2007 Ninja Turtles, and the other is Ghostbusters 2. I don't exactly know why.
I guess I should mention this since I forgot to mention it while we were talking about the next generation. I remember me and my cousin were watching it one time, and they got to a part where the main bad guy, to this evil fucking dragon god, I guess, and he's basically talking about, he's like, oh, I'm going to take over the world.
Why'd you call it the next generation? It's the next mutation.
Okay, the next mutation, this dragon says he's going to take over the world, so in retaliation, this old guy decides he's going to say, no!
Oh, yeah. He goes, no!
Like, he tries to convince the dragon not to do it by yelling no.
Master Splinter gets stuck in his meditation dimension for some reason.
that is a mess. But anyway,
it's a good show.
Yeah.
Good show.
Now we're gonna go watch Batman vs Ninja Turtles. We'll talk to you guys when we're done.
Yeah, we have a lot to say about Ninja Turtles and Batman. Who figured?
Yeah. So we'll get to it. Bye.
Turtles the news. Changed the mutants by an ooze. Found on the floor, raised by a rat. Now they're ninjas. How about that?
We just came back from watching Ninja Turtles vs. Batman.
Yes. It was such a good movie, and now we're gonna talk about why it's a good movie and why it lived up to our expectations. Starting with entertainment value. Ducko, begin.
Yeah, the sense of humor is good, the animation's good, the way the characters interact with each other is mostly good, and the way their
Ninja Turtles,
worlds...
they felt like themselves.
The Ninja Turtles were the highlight of this movie.
They were definitely the highlight. I wasn't as much into the Batman stuff sometimes, like with Robin, and Batman was kind of a dick, but they actually sort of call him out on it at some point, and he becomes nicer to the Turtles. That happens later in the movie. Okay, but basically, there's a lot of good scenes in the Turtles, and I think the humor worked better than in any other movie so far. I like how they mixed up both their worlds together, and it felt like a lot of the characters had a good amount of screen time. All the turtles had something to do.
Yeah, there was a lot of fan service. They had the Ninja Turtles doing the poses from the 1990s opening. They had Shredder land in the same way they did in the original movie. They had Michelangelo doing the exact same nunchuck maneuver that he did in the original opening as well. They just had like a lot of Ninja Turtle fan service, and that.
And they
I
had.
really like.
Sorry.
Oh, go ahead. I'm sorry.
They had those covers at the end too. Sorry.
Yeah.
The end credits.
There's this thing they did where they have the mutagen from Ninja Turtles. They fuse it into the Batman villains, and they all become animals.
Yeah, that was cool.
I'm pretty sure Mr. Freeze fucking died. We never saw him again, and there was very, very violent noises when the vampire Batman got him.
Oh yeah, Batman got mutated as well.
Oh yeah. See, I like how they didn't make Batman invincible in this. That's what I was fearing when the movie started. I thought they were gonna make him invincible.
They did at the very beginning, but we'll get into
towards
that.
the beginning, they made Batman seem invincible, but then when it went on, Batman he got hurt a couple times. And
we'll get into that aspect in satisfying fights. So.
But there's a lot of great moments in this, and I really Michelangelo. His humor was at this is one of the. Sometimes I don't like Michelangelo's humor as much, although I still do in the old cartoon. But I think this nailed his humor. It made him good.
I love Donnie in this movie. He has like these really
Donatello was great.
He has like this long ass head with small eyes, and it always looks like he's staring into nothingness, and I love that.
Ducko, how about you?
I liked a lot. Before we get into the fights, I liked how a lot of them like played off of each other. I like how their worlds play off of each other. I like all that, and I don't have much else to say that you guys didn't say or everybody else did. It was.
But basically, it was just a really good crossover. Now, when it comes to the satisfying fights, there are two things of note here, and I think we should mention. In the first fight, when it's Batman and the Ninja Turtles fighting, me and Ribbit seem to agree. I'm not sure if Ducko agreed, but it was very Batman is epic. It was very because the Ninja Turtles didn't really land a single hit on the Batman.
Not really. They didn't really. They outright didn't. They didn't land a single hit on Batman.
Yeah, Batman just kicked their ass like.
And, I mean, okay, like when you're doing a crossover movie, you need to show respect to both sides, or else to those who prefer the other side, it's gonna come across as a little. It's just, I don't know. It's not gonna be.
But I think while that was the only time Batman and Ninja Turtles fought, which could seem like a little bit of a clickbait title, I do think they still deliver on Batman vs. Ninja Turtles because other Batman characters in the universe end up fighting Ninja Turtles, and they're pretty entertaining fights. Of note, I can say that Leonardo versus Ra's al Ghul was really cool because well, Leo won.
To be fair, Shredder did kick Batman's ass.
Yeah, in the beginning he kicked his ass, and so we got that. I like some of the things with the I like the fight scene with those mutagen enhanced Arkham guys. Joker was a snake for some reason. I'm glad Joker's here, but why was he here?
Oh,
well,
it was
just for the Joker venom, really.
Yeah. I like that scene where the Ninja Turtles fight the vampire Batman, and technically you could say they beat Batman in that scene because they got him.
The closest we get to anything like that is Leo, like, pushing Batman to the ground in training.
Oh yeah, they were training with each other, and Leo got the better of him in a little training.
The dumbest thing was that Robin beat all the Ninja Turtles. I can sort of understand Batman doing it, but Robin? Why?
No way. And then Robin was only stopped because Michelangelo sat on him.
Yeah.
I like how Michelangelo was the person to, like, beat the mutated Batman and the person to beat Robin. Michelangelo got the most wins in this.
He's the MVP. I don't know if it's just us being big Ninja Turtles fans or if it's actually a problem with the movie, but I mean, it still turned out fine in the end, and it did not hinder my overall enjoyment of the film.
I'm not gonna blame the movie entirely, because this movie is actually based on a comic book somewhat, where Batman does indeed beat all of the Ninja Turtles in the movie. So, well, in the comic he beats all the Ninja Turtles.
And as this goes without saying, when it comes to was there a winner, I guess during their little scuffle, Batman did win. Although they teamed up throughout most of the movie, so they both won.
Yeah, they beat Vampire Batman at least.
If
and
you
they
want
beat Vampire Batman, and they beat Ra's al Ghul and Shredder.
If we're viewing this as a versus movie, it's way better to view it as the Batman universe versus the Ninja Turtles universe, because we get the Ninja Turtles characters fighting Batman villains and vice versa. I think those parts are better than when
that
the
really
heroes
is the best
are
way
fighting.
to look at it.
Because when the heroes are fighting, it just kind of comes across as, oh, the Batman characters are so much better trained than the Turtles, which I don't like.
Was it a good movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Obviously it was.
First movie I'm able to very confidently say that this was a very good movie.
I would watch it on my own, and I would enjoy it.
Yeah, the animation was so good. I being
it
somebody,
so nice.
being like an animation geek. So many like little animation things were great to me. Like the Ninja Turtles, whenever they were shrouded in darkness, their bandanas were still visible, so you could tell who the Ninja Turtle, like which turtle was who, which I loved.
It was so beautiful, and I think unlike Alien vs Predator 1, where like we said, I think Alien vs Predator 1, it's still a solid movie, but the human stuff was kind of boring, and we didn't have anybody that was boring in Batman vs Ninja Turtles because, well, the human characters are Batman, Robin, and Batgirl, interesting people. There's no boring human characters in this because none of these characters none of them are boring.
Yeah, I was really happy that they focused like entirely on Batman and the Ninja Turtles, which we have never actually seen in one of these movies. Oddly enough, it's always been.
If we were to get to the ranking board, I don't think anything's gonna beat Ninja Turtles versus Batman.
There's like one movie I think might be able to beat it as a movie, but
as first.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
I think Ninja Turtles versus Batman is obviously the best versus movie so far, and it's gonna probably keep. It might retain that title unless we get really surprised by any upcoming movies.
There's only one movie that I think has there's only one other movie that has a possibility of beating it out, but that's as a movie. As a versus movie, Batman versus Ninja Turtles is probably gonna deliver more anyway.
Yes, and I think we all know what that movie is. It could contest the Ninja Turtles versus Batman. The one and only next time. Ring versus The Grudge.
I don't know about that. At least for Ribbit.
The only competitor for Batman versus Ninja Turtles.
Oh dear.
But yeah, next time we'll be watching The Ring versus The Grudge. And that, I mean, it's gonna be we're gonna be going right back to our old shenanigans of things. Standard versus movie.
Batman versus Ninja Turtles was a little break.
It's gonna be hard to dive back into that, but
yeah. Somebody's just gonna team up against the Ring and the Grudge, and they're gonna beat the humans. Is it gonna be the fucking humans? No, the monsters are invading again, but it's the humans who win the day, or whatever. I'm glad this is heroes teaming up, because you don't get that shit.
I have to admit, I know how the Ring versus the Grudge ends.
Yeah, but we won't spoil you, our lovely audience. You'll just have to wait for next time on the Best Versus Movie.